Action. Good morning, race fans. Wednesday is upon us once again, and you know what that means. It's now time for another episode of the Announcer's Booth Podcast. Scotty Too Hotty and Pour and Pray here with ya.
How's it going this morning, buddy?
It is going good. How about you, man?
Hey, it's going great.
Hey, who do we got on the show today?
Hey, this week on the show we have hobby stock drivers out of Nebraska, Brooke, Fluckiger, and Jeremy Schell, along with the question of the week. What was your favorite racing moment of 2021?
All this and more coming up next on the Announcer's Booth Podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. Happy Wednesday morning to you, ladies and gentlemen. So glad to be back here with you on the Announcer's Booth Podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. And Evan, this weather, it's I don't know. It was warm the other day. Now it's back cold again, and it's just winter. I
don't like it.
Winter is being very temperamental.
It really is, and I'm tired of it. I just want my warm weather back.
Yes, because warmer weather means racing season, and we're both looking forward to that, as well as just about every driver within our areas as well. So, racing season, please come soon. That is all we're asking. Oh, man, no, like you heard, we have a great show for you today. We have two hobby stock drivers out of the Nebraska realm on today, and drivers that, Evan, you've raced with both of them. I've raced with one of them, and that would be driver Brooke Fluckiger. I hope I pronounced that correctly.
You did.
And as well as our good friend, we call him Schell, but that would be Jeremy Schell, driver of the 17S hobby stock as well. So we have them on the show today, and we caught up with Brooke at the swap meet just a few weeks ago in Columbus, and Jeremy on the Sodak iRacing Series phone lines. And I got to tell you, Evan, just, you know, I've been to a lot of racetracks over the past few years here, and the hobby stock class is really, well, let's face it, you and I have both driven in it. It is a very tough, competitive class to be in, no matter what track you go to.
Oh, very tough indeed. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from you guys up there, but we got some heavy hitters down here in the hobby stock division.
Yes, and I mean, we've got some heavy hitters up here as well. In our neck of the woods, and I would like to see a race of just like your heavy hitters down there in Nebraska, the heavy hitters that we got up here in, you know, Northwest Iowa and South Dakota, just to see what that race would be like. Although,
you know, they should do that at Boone. Just get the heavy hitters, you know, let's say top 3 or 4 in point from each, you know, Nebraska, Iowa, South Dakota. And have that. I know they have the Race of Champions over there, but let's get the heaviest hitters and let them go at it.
Yeah, that'd be like top 3 and like state points. That would be. Ooh.
Yep. You come down to Nebraska, okay, just because they won state points, don't mean we don't have 2 more heavy hitters right behind them.
Oh, exactly.
That can come down to somebody was sick and missed a night. Oh, they just lost 8 points.
I mean, for heavy hitters, I mean, for especially like for stock cars, you know, too, you've got Damon Richards, you've got Cade Richards, and you've got the Wilkinson boys. And it's, you know, you got heavy hitters in stock cars, but boy, you know, just for hobby stocks though as well. I mean, Jeff Ware, I mean, he's going to a stock car now, but still one heck of a hobby stock driver. Sal Hernandez. Then you go to
Jason Wilkinson.
The Shadow, Jason Wilkinson. Then you go to Off-Road Speedway, and you've got Stephanie Reynolds. You know, she's running with the big boys up there too. And it's like, man, the level of talent, and like I said, not only in your area, but then you come up to my area, you know, Tracy Haluska, Dustin Galbronson, Tyler Schlumbum, Levi Vanderweide, just to name a few of the guys that I've raced with. Just to see a race with all of them and just the level of talent put together. Oh my goodness. I think we would have thought we'd have died and gone to heaven there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure indeed. And it's, we said this on the last show, Evan, but you know, 2021 was kind of a bounce back year from 2020. when, a lot of us couldn't go racing right away. And now here in 2022, we've got big announcements coming out. The Dirt Crown Tour coming, hopefully third time's a charm. They announced as well a stock car tour coming as well from Dirt Crown Promotions. Oh my goodness. I mean, just looking at that, and we will get into that in a later episode, but it looks like a lot of fun, a lot of purse money being put up, and a lot of prizes, and that I'm definitely looking forward to that coming out of Nebraska.
Oh, so am I. And I'm going to throw this out there. We're not going to give it away, but I have an announcement.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to release it yet.
Yes, you do.
I have an announcement.
A few people know what's going on.
Some people do know.
Some people do know. But for our listeners, I mean, I know what's going on, but for our listeners, we're not going to divulge.
We're not just going to give it away.
We're not going to just give this away. Let's just say Evan's got a big announcement, and when I got the phone call, I was very happy.
You're about as more excited than I was.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. So we will tell what the announcement is a little later on, but some great news coming out of Nebraska. We'll just leave it at that.
That we will.
Like we said, great show on the day today, and with Brooke and Jeremy. And what are some things that you kind of want to see happen in 2022 here in this season, Evan?
Just great more racing.
Great more racing. I mean, that's on like everyone's agenda, just to get to as many races as you can. And just here's the thing: we've said this time and time again. Each year gets bigger and better, and how can you top this or anything? It's, to be perfectly honest, like the racing stays the same, but it just, I don't know, with each passing year, it just seems to get more exciting, if you know what I mean.
Oh, it does. Just, you watch these drivers grow and how much better they get.
I mean, just look at a couple years ago. I'm going to use Cade Richards for an example. A couple years ago, he's running Sport Mod, and I believe he got national rookie points in Sport Mod. I cannot remember.
I believe so.
Yes, he did. Youngest person to do so, and he went from Sport Mod into stock car, and he's just tearing up the stock car competition in his area as well. And who knows what's going to be next? Maybe modified. Maybe a late model later on down the road. Who knows? Like you said, just watching these drivers grow from class to class, and we'll hear Brooke and Jeremy talk about that later on in the show here. But just to see the drivers grow in the class that they're at, or you also have, other drivers like Jason Wilkinson. He is a top-notch hobby stock driver and usually runs away with it. But over, the course of a couple of years, everyone's like, okay, hey, what do I need to do to beat this guy? And so they start learning more and more, and they grow, like you said, Evan, and they get to that level. So it's just great to see each driver do that, no matter what class they're in.
And down here, he doesn't run away with it quite like he used to. Yeah, he's still, they call him a shadow for a reason.
Yes.
He is the shadow. He can strike at any second. But you got guys out here that are starting to figure it out, that aren't just letting him run away with it.
And we've got guys up here too, that are figuring it out slowly but surely too. I mean, Landon Crone, the Rowena Rocket out of Rowena, South Dakota, he has come around past couple years, ended up taking home a win at I-90 Speedway in 2021. That kid is going places, and he looks better and better each and every week. As well as, we've seen Tracy Haluska, one that I used to race with as well. He was called Mid-Pack Mafia. It didn't seem to matter what he did. He would always finish in the mid-pack. And now he's running right up there at the front. And, Dustin Gall-Bronson, been watching him for years. There's a reason why he is one of the best when it comes to hobby stock racing up here in my area. But he's also a guy that he will come and help you and give you tips, and because he wants to be out there, you to be out there with him, challenging, for the lead, for the win or whatever. And, just Dustin, great guy to be around. So, yeah, just to see these guys grow and just become the racers that they are is wonderful. Another friend of ours, Brandon Jurens, him and I used to figure 8 race together. And he then bought a Sportsman and he started racing, and then I started racing, and we kind of, talk and, get ideas off one another, or say, hey, what are you doing, with this, and then, just talk. And he's now running hobby stock as well. He went down to Wheatland, Missouri to Lucas Oil Speedway when they had the USRA Nationals. First time ever there. And I believe the first time ever for USRA Nationals. I'd have to ask him, but made the big show. And
wow.
He has just, from figure 8 racing way back when to hobby stocks now, he has greatly improved from where he started. And now this year his son Cam is climbing in a hobby stock. So it's going to be great to see what his son can do as well behind the wheel, and it's going to be fun to watch him grow.
It's always, like I've said, watching these guys grow year in, year out, even the growth in the year is amazing.
Yes, it really is.
You get guys that struggle at the beginning of the year, then it just clicks, and then they're firing on all cylinders, and you better watch out because they're coming.
Absolutely, and that makes for some awesome moments in racing, and we are going to get to that right on the other side of this break here with the Fort Orange Salvage Question of the Week. But first, we are going to hear from our Question of the Week advertiser and Fort Orange Salvage.
Evicted tenants leave a mess behind? Have an old appliance that you're tired of staring at? Yard waste, branches, carpet, old furniture, other discarded items you just want gone? Well, Fort Orange Salvage can take it all away. Call Jamie at 605-376-8532 for a quote today, or you can find him on Facebook by searching Fort Orange Salvage-Junk Haulers. Contractless payment through Venmo or PayPal is also available. Quick, easy, and affordable junk hauling. Fort Orange Salvage. We pick things up and we take them away. Serving Sioux Falls, South Dakota and surrounding areas.
So once again, Fort Orange Salvage out of the Sioux Falls area, and cannot say enough about Jamie. And Evan, I sent you some pictures of when Jamie came down to help clean out the garage on my place here. And yeah, the man does a wonderful job at what he does. So if you need something picked up and taken away, Jamie is the guy to call.
Yeah, he is.
So with that, we're going to get into the question of the week this week, and we wanted to know, what was your favorite moment of the 2021 racing season? And Evan, some of these answers are just unbelievable. I mean, and some of the tracks, you and I were at to see this, or looking at race footage. Let's just dive into these here, starting off with our Facebook page. Ken says, the Tiny Lund second day hobby feature. Yes, I saw the footage. They were 4 wide coming to the checkered flag.
Wow.
And Caleb Brunson was one of those 4, by the way. And yes, that definitely was a race that was a lot of everyone's favorite moment there. Ryan Kumpf, I know you can relate to this one here, Evan, says the Tanner Pelster Memorial, never been a part of a race quite like it.
I'm getting chills right now just talking about it. That was an amazing memorial race.
And it's, as you heard from Ryan last week, the second annual Tanner Pelster Memorial happening this year once again, and that race is getting bigger and better. So be sure to keep your calendars open for those dates when they are announced once again. Well, Sean Sucha says 2021 was an awesome year of racing, but I think my favorite part was getting behind the wheel of a late model at Wagner Speedway. Best birthday gift ever.
Yeah, that had to be fun. I know Sean personally. I'm pretty sure you know him also.
Yes, I do.
Great kid. Finally got the opportunity to do it, and he took it.
Nate Grundman says here, he says, this is close for me, but it's going to have to be building a car in 2 weeks. A lot of very, very late nights and a lot of missed sleep. But the close second and watching Tyler compete for the A feature win and also watching him get his first heat win in a stock car. I'm assuming he's talking about Tyler Steckelberg, which
He
is
is.
one of your friends.
Yep, that is our other pit guy, Nate. Great kid. Yeah, I got to agree with him. Like we were talking, my, favorite moment was building that car in 2 weeks, dude. It was unreal. We took a car from nothing, didn't even have a firewall in it. 2 weeks later, we were out racing.
And just I actually called a couple of those races that Tyler wheeled that stock car, and yes,
you did. Yes, you did.
And he looked very, very good for you guys having built that car in 2 weeks. I gotta hand it to you guys. That was some definitely moments made there as well.
And honestly, we went out for practice night before that, and we did nothing but struggle. We lost shifter linkage after shifter linkage. I mean, we had some major problems. We didn't even think we were going to race.
Right.
And we did what we had to do, got them out there, and you've seen the results.
Yep. When you put your mind to something, the end result is perfect.
It really is.
Well, we just got one here on Instagram, and that is from the Austin Brands 17, and his favorite moment was Tyler Courtney, old Sunshine, winning the Kings Royal in 2021.
Jumping over to my TikTok page, Blake17, my brother winning a sprint car race at a special, and it was his first feature win.
Wow. Those are always special.
Yes, they are. That's all I got on my TikTok page.
Well, on my end here, we got our good friend Greg Hammond. Excuse me. I would be amiss if I didn't say the old man, Greg Hammond. Love you, buddy. He says racing at the Last Great Coliseum was a huge highlight in 2021. That, of course, being Bristol Motor Speedway for the Bristol Dirt Nationals in 2021.
Jumping over to the podcast TikTok page, RJ Merchant, like every year, getting to race with my friends and seeing all the fans. And then he said, Scotty, thanks for wearing my shirt. Thanks for the support.
Yes, RJ, a good friend of mine as well as part of the Racers for Autism group. So yes, in our promo that we did and that we released this video onto our socials, I just happened to be wearing a RJ Merchant shirt. So RJ, you're welcome.
All right, we got Eli Welch. There you go. Sorry, I'm horrible with names. Going to Stewart for the first time with Chance Riley. Then we got Jackson Racing at 98. My moment was I got taken out in the heat race, got the car back together, made my first A feature ever, 10 top 10s.
That is awesome.
And we got Speedy Adams 24 buying Tony Schmidt's car in August after wrecking my truck.
Goodness.
And that's all we got.
So that is the 4 Orange Salvage question of the week. Be sure to stay tuned to our social media for the question of the week for next week's episode. Of course, you can find us on Facebook. Just search the Announcers Booth Podcast, as well as Twitter, the Announce Booth, and on TikTok, the Announcers Booth Podcast, as well as our personal pages on TikTok as well that will be posted to Facebook and Instagram. So be sure to watch for those for the 4 Orange Salvage question of the week for next week's episode. We're going to take another quick break here and hear from our title advertiser in Rapid Graphics. And just on the other side of that break, we are going to dive into an interview with Brooke Fluckiger, driver of the 2B Hobby Stock. And we will hear about her racing career and what her plans are for 2022.
Rapid Graphics, located in Rock Rapids, Iowa, on the corner of Highway 9 and 75, specialize in graphics and signage of all types. They specialize in indoor and outdoor signage, banners, commercial vehicles, custom logos, race car graphics, and much, much more. Rapid Graphics have the tools to get your job done, and you can find them easily on Facebook at Rapid Graphics 12. For more information, contact Rapid Graphics for all of your custom graphic and signage needs today.
Scotty Too Hottie and Evan Pornprey here, back on the Announcer Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. And just we can't stop talking about these guys either. And all of our advertising partners here on the Announcer Booth podcast do such great work in the fields that they do in Rapid Graphics, especially with race car wraps, canvas prints, t-shirts, banner designs, business cards, sticker window decals, anything. Blake can get the job done, and he is very, very good at what he does.
Yes, he is.
Of course, if you saw us at the Winters Racers Swap Meet there in Columbus, you would see the banner that we had on the table. That, of course, a Rapid Graphics product. And Blake, we just cannot thank you enough for everything you've done to help us out here with the show. We're going to dive into the Sodak iRacing Series phone lines now and hear from two awesome hobby stock drivers. And our first one here, ladies first, Brooke Fluckiger, the 2B hobby stock driver. She has got quite the career already, and she's going, sounds like, full-time at least 2 tracks and maybe traveling around a little bit. And Evan, you and I have both raced with her. She is not one to be, taken lightly in the hobby stock ranks.
You definitely do not take Brooke Fluckiger lightly. She's going to come out gun blazing, and you better watch out.
Yes, and
she's quick.
She is quick, and she is a tough competitor as well. And one of those drivers that we were talking about earlier was just so much fun just to watch grow throughout their career so far. So without further ado, here is the interview with Brooke. So we are live here at the Winter Racers Swap Meet here in Columbus, Nebraska, and we have one of US 30's own, Brooke Fluckiger. Did I say that right? Yes. Perfect. Nailed it. Hobby stock driver here. Had a great season at US 30 for the most part, one of which a win coming back in, was that August, I want to say? With an exciting fashion, racing with Jeff Ware for the win.
I don't quite remember, but yeah, it was.
Yeah, I only remember that because I was there announcing that night. Bobby said, if you can come on over, that'd be great. And I remember the 2B hobby stock going to victory lane and just the crowd going nuts.
Absolutely.
So what got you into racing, and especially hobby stock racing? Because hobby stocks is one of the toughest classes, I think, just to get into with how competitive it is. So how did you get into racing?
So I actually grew up watching both my cousins race, Damian and Dylan Smith, and then at the time who I was dating was racing, so kind of got the push to go into compacts, and then from compacts we knew there was not much more we could accomplish, so moved to the hobby stock class.
And I've never run a compact. I've only run rear-wheel drive cars. Going from a compact to a hobby stock, you basically have to relearn everything, how to drive, set up. What was the transition like then between those two classes?
Well, it wasn't easy, that's for sure. But, you just got to have seat time and give yourself that practice, and eventually you'll kind of catch on.
So how many years have you been racing the hobby stock then?
This will be my 4th year.
4th year?
Yep.
A lot of success. I know, we were just talking about that win earlier. A lot of success in the hobby stock, or still learning?
It's a learning curve. Every time you're out there, regardless, I don't think the experience definitely comes into factor, but, it's just, you get that seat time and you learn, I feel like, every night you're out there.
Hey, you've been kind of traveling around the area, too. I know we've seen you at US 30. Any other tracks in the area and out of state that you've been traveling to, or?
In the hobby stocks, I've mainly just done Eagle. I did Albion my first couple years, and then US 30. So we kind of stay local for the most part.
And that's, I think, the main thing, too. Like, even with the local, you still have a lot of talent in that division, and just to race with them, learn from your competitors and whatnot, I think is really special, though, too. And, Evan, I know you've ran hobby stock before. I've ran hobby stock before. It's not easy, especially with some of the talent around here. Like we were talking earlier, Jeff Ware, you holding him off for the win at US 30. What is it like then when you're racing with, Sal Hernandez, Jeff Ware, Jason Wilkinson, just with those legendary drivers? What's it like being out there on the track with them?
lot of the times I like to learn from them, as weird as that sounds. They've been in the sport for a lot longer than I have, and they know the ins and outs, and I feel like if you can watch them on the track and you can learn from that. So, I definitely appreciate them all racing me clean every week. And
so what is 2022 looking like? I know we're here at the swap meet. Picked up anything good that you need for the car this year, or what's the plans here for 2022?
Well, we're going to obviously be back in the hobby stock again, getting a new body, put on new wrap. Do have the same car, but it got some updates, so we'll race US 30 full-time, and hoping to add Albion full-time and possibly some specials at Eagle if we can.
Awesome. So sounds like a busy year. I know you got sponsors as well. You'd like to give them a shout out, give them some recognition?
Absolutely. There's so many of them. But each and every person that helps me on the car, can't thank you guys enough. And my boyfriend Taylor Huss has been kind of a push as well. He gets on my nerves at times, but that's okay.
I think everyone has that one person that always gets on their nerves. Right, Evan?
Correct.
Correct is right.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on the show. Greatly appreciated, Brooke. Good luck in 2022. And
thank you.
Yeah, if you want to, you have a Facebook page too, correct?
Yes, I do. If you type in my name, it should pop up.
Okay.
So
be sure to check her out on Facebook to keep up to date on where she's going to be at in Nebraska. And once again, thanks for coming on the show. Greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Man, Evan, I got to tell you, she is just not only one heck of a competitor, but she's got some great stories as well.
Yes, she does.
And just you see her and you're thinking like, okay, she looks kind of shy, and she drives a hobby stock and whatnot, and she will
drives a hobby stock.
She will pass you like you are standing still and leave you in the dust.
Yes, sir.
I think she's done that to both of us.
With Brooke, she come up from a 4-cylinder. I actually got to watch and race with her in 4-cylinder. She was a force to be reckoned with in that as well.
Exactly.
She's going to get her done.
Yeah, and she definitely gets it done. And like we said, in outstanding fashion, too, that one night at US 30 in 2021, taking home the feature win, and the crowd went absolutely nuts. So it's going to be awesome to see where her career takes her.
It's going to be a good one.
So we're going to take another quick break here and hear from Sodak iRacing Series. And just on the other side of that break, we're going to go right into the interview with our good friend Jeremy Shell, driver of the 17S Hobby Stock. And this one was fun. Evan, you've raced with Jeremy. You've raced one of Jeremy's cars, so you kind of took the lead on this one. This interview with Jeremy was fun.
Yes, it was. I'm laughing right now just thinking about it.
You guys
we kept this short and sweet. If you wanted me and Jeremy keep talking, we probably could have talked for another hour and 45 minutes on just racing stories.
And I definitely believe it. So we're going to take a quick break here from Sodak iRacing Series and go right into the interview with Jeremy Shell.
The Sodak iRacing League is the premier iRacing league for drivers, crew members, fans, and sponsors in the tri-state area around South Dakota, Iowa, and Minnesota. From street stocks to super late models, modifieds to sprint cars, the Sodak iRacing League does them all. You can follow all of their seasons live and free on Advantage Racing TV. For more information, look for Sodak iRacing on Facebook or join the league by searching for Sodak under the Leagues tab on your iRacing account.
So back here with the Announcers Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. And yes, the season is done for the Sodak iRacing Series, but hopefully another season in the works. So we will just have to see what Troy has up his sleeve here. And another great season, third different champion, I might add as well. So yes, things are definitely going well for the Sodak iRacing Series, and they bring us another interview now, and this one is another hobby stock driver out of Columbus, Nebraska, driver of the 17S Hobby Stock, Jeremy Shell. And Jeremy, I know you've got some crazy stories from the racetrack, whether it be from a sport compact to now a hobby stock, and just What's it like racing out there in old Columbus, Nebraska?
I tell you, Scotty, it's one of the deeper fields I've ever been to at a track as far as top to bottom. I was lucky enough to point my way into the top 10 this year, but there's several different drivers who can win on a given night. That's sure a fun track to race at Columbus. I'm very fortunate to have two other tracks within 45 minutes of my house also on two separate nights. So there's a lot of good racing here in this part of Nebraska.
So it's basically a full weekend during racing season then, just like you said, you got Thursday night over there at US 30 Speedway, Friday night Boone County Raceway in Albion, and then Off-Road Speedway on Saturdays over there in Norfolk, Nebraska. And coming from the Sport Compact into the hobby stock, what was really like, I've heard different people say it's a really big change. What was the biggest change for you jumping in from the compact to the hobby stock?
Biggest thing was you basically drive the car opposite of how you drove the compact. I mean, in the compact, it was just hammer down and turn left for the most part. And there's so much more to learn about car control and braking, and as I really struggled with my first year, not getting back to the gas too soon and sitting backwards in turn two like I did fairly regularly last year. It's just...
And I know our co-host here, Evan, you and him have quite a history together out on the racetrack as well.
Oh, yeah, we do.
But most of it in the compacts, but we've had a few bump togethers in the hobby stocks.
We've had a couple.
But most of the good ones were back in the compact days up at, well, all three tracks. We had a lot of racing together.
Yeah, all three tracks. I actually got to thank Jeremy. I know I thanked him clear back then, but my last year of Sport Compact, I was kind of just jumping in cars here and there. He let me jump in his car and picked up a couple heat race wins and had some really fun racing.
I will say, though, Evan, I have never seen a guy that can rip tires off a car the way you did.
That was about the worst thing.
Was fair left by the time you got done driving that car that year.
Look, that night I dropped it back off at your house. There was no passenger front tire. It was gone. I literally drove the tread off that tire.
Just when you think you couldn't, that you've now seen it all.
Oh, yeah. I got a phone call from Jeremy. He goes, "What did you do?" I was like, "I drove it."
You drove it hard, but that was a fast car.
Yes, it was.
Drove it like you stole it takes on a whole new meaning after that then.
Oh, yeah. There's a one point in time Jeremy goes, it's kind of sad I'm a better car owner than I am driver.
That's why I bought fast cars. I made a lot of rookie mistakes for just the 2 years I was in that class.
So,
when you were at the end of the year, you were struggling with the car even staying running.
So then, Jeremy, what's it like then when you have, these two cars and you're letting someone else drive your car? Does that put like more pressure on you as a driver with your own car and knowing that your other car is out there as well to make sure you're hitting your marks and whatnot? Or what does that do to, a car owner / driver when you have two cars out there and you're racing against one of them?
For sure. You never want to get beat by your other car. I mean, it causes a lot of focus, but that was the one nice thing about racing in the compacts. We were all friends and we had a lot of fun. I mean, it was competitive, but it was a friendly competition. I mean, but it definitely makes you work a little harder, and having Evan in my other car, I think made him run it or stay a little more focused too, because he didn't want to get beat by me either. So.
Oh, exactly. We had that friendly competition of I didn't want to get beat by you, and you didn't want me to beat you.
Right.
And you are
lay a door into each other, and we're still good after the race. I mean,
I do have to say, I think you're about the only owner and driver that I've met that will literally try to take the back bumper off of your own car.
Hey, I had a run on you that night, man.
You did.
I was going to let you know I was there.
Oh, you let me know.
Oh, yeah, all the way down the backstretch. I don't think you had a hand on the steering wheel. I seen them both waving out the back.
You weren't sure how much front bumper it was going to take, but you knew how much you were going to use.
And about half the hood too, I think.
Oh yeah. I was not in control of that car. Jeremy had full control of what I was doing and where I was going.
Oh, that was one of the good nights. That was a good time watching you lose it going down the fence. I'm just laughing, and then I hit the face and shoot off. I thought you were doing the old General Lee off a turn one up at Albion that night.
I thought I was too.
Oh man! So when transitioning into the hobby stock, then for both of you, because both of you guys have raced hobby stocks together now too, what was that transition like? Just like from the class, then especially for you, Jeremy. Just is it a different type of atmosphere running with the hobby stock guys, especially out there in Nebraska, or was it more like the same feel like it was with the compacts?
A lot of it was the same feel because there was a pretty big transition of drivers from compacts into hobby stocks a couple of years before I moved up. So I was still racing with a lot of the same people. And, I mean, you've raced enough. You know how it is in the pits. We're still small town tracks, so you know most of the people back there. And these hobby stock guys have been friendly and helped me out just like compacts did when I first got in, because I'll be the first to admit, when I got into racing, I didn't have a doggone clue what I was doing. I just, 4th of July weekend, wanted to get it. But, you know, I'm going to go buy a car. Drove out to Wisconsin and bought a car, and that just kind of got it started.
And it's been all fun and downhill ever since.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, who needs free time and financial stability?
Sounds like a bad decision gone good or good decision gone bad. I mean, it all depends on how you look at it, right?
That's the best bad decision I've ever made, Scotty.
Exactly. I think the three of us can say that with confidence. but a fun decision at that. And I know you had a little bit of tough luck in 2021, coming back stronger than ever in 2022, or what's the plan for 2022?
Yeah, no, we're got the car stripped down. I'm actually getting ready to get it put on the frame machine, and got a wonderful sponsor up in South Sioux City, that MacArthur Sheet Metal Works, that's going to get the car dressed back up for me once it's straightened out. And hope to be back and run some more tracks this year, not just only in Columbus this year.
I'd like to see you come to Raceway Park sometime over there in Jefferson.
They don't have infield tractor tires for him to hit.
I am proud to say I did not touch a one of them this year.
I'm proud of you. That's a big accomplishment for you.
I don't think I missed a week without hitting one a couple of years before.
Hey, it happens. It happens, especially when you're basically trying to relearn everything. I never drove a compact, but I was straight in the rear-wheel drives, and I thought I knew how to drive, and that was quite the rude awakening opening night.
Yeah, that's the way it was the first time I ever hopped in this hobby stock. I always had rear-wheel drive cars growing up, and back in Iowa, out in the country. And yeah, hit the gas, slide the corner, hit her straight and back out, and you're going straight. Yeah, it's not that way when you got 20 other cars on the track, and you're on banking, and about 150 more horsepower than what I was used to having as a kid.
Yeah, and it's a lot harder than what it looks, and what some other drivers seem to make it look easy.
Oh, yes, they do. That was first time went out for practice one day. Bobby let me come out, and he had a couple other cars practicing, and told the other guys I'd never been in a car before, so they let me go out and run a few laps first, and I think I made it about halfway through my first full lap, or full speed lap, before I had it spun around and realized, wow, I got a whole lot of learning to do, and season starts in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, the first piece of advice I was given when I climbed into a car was push the car to where you spin out, so then you know the car's limits.
And that's been the wonderful thing with Bobby, is especially that first year, he allowed me to get a lot of extra practice time that was really starting to show by the end of the season. I mean, the the car was competitive. As a driver, I was able to start getting a lot more competitive and was knocking on some top tens, and just it was a rough start to the year. I think we were going into race 8 or 9 for the season, and we was getting a heck of a car count that first year I was in the hobbies. And I was just joking one night that I looked at the program and I said, geez, I'm the highest pointed driver to not make a feature this year.
Oh, no.
Well, sure enough, that night went out and made my first feature, and I managed to finish. I finished every race that year, and that was kind of where my luck turned this year. I made every feature. I just only finished about 3 of them.
Well, hey, the only place to go is up, right?
It is. And
Just not up and over, please.
Yes, no, not up and over. Wait, Evan, I can't believe you just said that.
I've only ever done the up and over thing one time, and that was another one of them adventuresome nights at Albion.
I remember that.
In fact, I eliminated an entire heat race that night.
Oof.
Yeah.
We took a restart on, I think we had 2 laps to go, and I dived it into turn 1, trying to take the lead, and they got a pretty healthy berm there at Albion, and my left front caught it, and the guy had told me just a few weeks before that, it's not a matter of if you ever go over, it's when you go over, and that was the first thing I thought of as I felt the car coming around and my left side coming up, and I tell you what, that first roll goes nice and slow. It was when the car T-boned me coming back down that the next 3 went really fast.
I know the feeling. I've been up and over twice, and yeah, like you said, it's not if, it's when.
Right. Because yeah, it was coming around. I just see a cloud of dust. I hear cars bouncing, brakes, just crashing. It sounds terrible. The dust settled. I look. All 6 of us on the track are just sitting there in a pile. And the guy comes over the race receiver and he goes, can anybody move their car? And I hear, well, it was Shannon Pospischel. His fired up. And he's got a broken wheel, but he can limp it forward about 30 feet. Comes across, 00, you win by default. Can we get the tow trucks now?
Oh, man.
And they towed every last one of us off.
Well, you know what they say. If you can't make the show, you might as well be the show.
Yeah, it was that night. That was actually a double feature night. And me and him had went out in the first feature and put on a heck of a show. That was my best points finish at any track I've ever had. I got second up there, and Shannon had the experience on me, and it seemed like he just got me by about a point every night. If I got third, he got second. If I got second, he got first. Just week after week.
That's usually how it goes, too.
But he was another one that was fun to race with that year because the car counts at Albion kind of are up and down, and me and him was so far ahead in the points. We started side by side every week, and it was just a mad dash to see who could outdo each other. But with his years of experience, he's usually got it done.
Y'all got crazy some nights, because that's the year that I started about a half year running up there with my new car. Y'all got crazy some nights.
Oh, he put a move on me one night that I will never forget. I'm leading the feature. I think I've got it. We're coming around. I take the white flag. I got the lead. Holy crap, I'm finally going to get a feature win. And I just barely burst the gas going into turn 1. Next thing I know, he doesn't lift. He's got that thing sliding around the berm coming through 1 and 2, and how he got that thing to hold, I will never know. I'm not sure if I was so surprised and just lifted or impressed or what, but it's like, gee whiz, the old man got me again. I went over to his pit after the race and like, that was a heck of a move. I can't believe you got it to stick. He goes, I really didn't think it was going to, but it was the only way I was going to get you. Boy, that, as far as just racing, that is one of my more favorite tracks I've ever raced at. It just, being the same length as Columbus and Norfolk, it just races completely different.
I'd have to agree with you on that. Oh, Scotty, you haven't run Albion, have you?
I have not. I haven't even been to the track. I've been really wanting to make it there, but it falls on Friday nights, and usually I'm somewhere else on a Friday night. So it is on the bucket list. It is on the bucket list, though.
Jeremy, I think you can agree. It's a different track, but it's a fun track.
Right. Well, and that's the nice part about all three of our tracks right here in this area. Is they all drive just a little bit different between the black dirt top at off-road and the long straightaways at Albion. And boy, these improvements Bobby's made here at US 30, that's really turned into a fun, fast place to race, too.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, for the first time I ever ran that, he hadn't taken over yet, and it is just a completely different track than it was 4 years ago. And it's exciting as he keeps improving things out there and making it a better experience, a better place to race. And boy, he's a passionate crowd. That is one of the better tracks I've ever been to for packing the stands and people getting loud for their drivers.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you that, Jeremy. As a driver, you drive there weekly. What is it like? You know, you're sitting hot laps, not very many people there, but by that time heat race starts, that crowd is packed.
That place, when it fills up in a hurry. But boy, if they love you, they let you know. If they don't love you, they definitely let you know. I've heard both.
Yeah.
And it don't even have to be they don't like you. But boy, you raced one of their favorites. A little rough or whatnot. And you might even hear about it just coming up to get a burger or a beer after.
I'll have to agree with you on that one.
But you'll also get the same amount of people that come up and congratulate you for a good run as well.
Yep, I'd have to agree with you on there. Well, Jeremy, I want to thank you for taking the time tonight to talk to us, and good luck this next season.
No, appreciate it. Let's talk to you guys again sometime.
Man, I got to tell you, Jeremy is one of a kind. That's the best way I can describe Jeremy.
He is. I call him one of my brothers. That guy's awesome.
He is, and he's a person you would not expect to find in a race car. I honestly, the first time I met him, I was like, oh, well, he's probably a track official. No, I race hobby stock. Oh, okay, awesome. And he is another one of those drivers, like we talked about, who is growing from the compacts and now into the hobbies, and I cannot wait to see what he can do in 2022.
For him, I'm hoping it's better than last season. He had some tough luck. Hopefully he gets that turned around.
Yeah, hopefully he does too. And like you said, it was either one way or the other way is what he said in that interview there. So, yeah, definitely going to
the thing I like about him most, he can have the worst night worst night in his career. Oh, another night of racing. We'll go home, fix it, and come back.
Yep. And that's what racing is all about.
It is.
We're going to take another quick break here and hear from Advantage Racing TV and AOK Photography and Design. And just on the other side of that break, Evan, you've got a big announcement that you would like to make to our listeners here.
You think I should let them know?
Well, that is completely up to you, my friend. But we've kept
I think we're going to.
Yeah, we've kept them in suspense this long. I think it's the only right thing to do.
All right, we'll let them know after this break.
Advantage Racing TV is your source for local entertainment in the tri-state area. From compacts to late models and sprint cars, Advantage Racing TV has just what you need to cure your racing ailments. Check them out online at www.advantageracing.tv and take advantage of your racing addiction.
AOK Photography and Design is the place for all your photo needs. AOK does racing hero cards, blankets, canvas, racing sponsor photos, as well as other personalized items. Located out of Montevideo, Minnesota, they can get what you need at an affordable price. Check them out on Facebook for more information, and you'll find that their guaranteed service is AOK.
Scotty and Evan back here on the Announcer Booth podcast presented by Rapid Graphics. And yes, Advantage Racing TV and AOK Photography and Design, two great companies that work very well in the racing world. Alex taking photos, doing hero cards, pictures, calendars, you name it. And Advantage Racing TV producing a quality product when it comes to dirt track racing. Just the traveling that they do for not only some of their shows, but stuff for IMCA TV as well, and working with other affiliates. It is really awesome what they do.
It really is.
And cannot wait to see what they will all have in 2022. Speaking of 2022, Evan, you've got a big announcement here. And like you said earlier, I was just as excited, if not a little bit more excited, when I got this phone call. So what is going on in 2022 that we can look forward to hear from you, my friend?
I have accepted, it's not full-time, as a part-time announcing position at US 30 Speedway.
Announcing position. Did you ever think those words would roll out off your tongue like that at all?
Never. I still somewhat don't believe it, but we're going to do it.
Yes, we're going to try, and I'm looking forward to one day being on the mic with you, not only on the podcast here. We have a lot of fun on the podcast, don't get us wrong, but to sit side by side with you and call a race, I think that'd be just as fun.
I'd have to agree with you there. I think it's going to be a blast.
Going to be a blast. So, yes, Bobby Lincoln giving you the shot there at US 30 part-time in 2022. I'm excited for you, man. I was... when I got the phone call and then talking with you about it, I was like, I can't believe this is exciting. I mean, he is on a mic with me, but now he gets to be on a mic at a track, and party is going, oh my goodness, I can't believe this. Another party's going, okay, how do we do this?
That's exactly, a big thank you to Bobby Lincoln there at US 30. He told me, he goes, I'm not going to throw you to the wolves. I'm going to, let you be up there with Anthony and Ryan, listen, learn. There's a couple times that Anthony's going to be gone. He goes, I want you to step up and do it and be the co-announcer with Ryan. And
that's the best experience that you can get is watching and learning, and a little trial by fire, like I like to say.
Yep, and that's what it's going to be.
Going to be indeed. It's 2022 is already shaping up to be a very good year.
It is.
So we would like to say a big thank you to Brooke Fluckiger and Jeremy Schell for being on the show today. Also, a big thank you to Matthew Bronish, Jerry Van Sickle, and Sean Neested for helping out with the show. And to you, the race fans, we cannot say thank you enough. You guys have been awesome with the support you have given us here in Season 2 and Season 1 as well. You are the reason why we do this. We love you, and thank you.
And hey, like I say every week, stay safe, stay kind, and we'll see you next week.
We will see you next week indeed. Make sure to watch our social media for the question of the week, brought to you by 4 Orange Salvage. Until then, take care.